Hello, it is June 5th, and I'm doing the video for June 5th, and it is definitely a couple minutes after the last time. I worry about Christina's health a lot with all this situation, hoping it all turns out well, but there's always this fear. Right now, she's just exhausted and letting her sleep. I knew eventually I would need to talk about video games, and so I'm going to. And you understand the reason why I play video games. It is one of those things that I do to help me relax. Same with watching videos on YouTube and stuff like that. And there's a lot of condemnation for some people about video games. First of all, let's just get the big thing out of there. There's always going to be people who see whatever as bad. And part of that is ignorance. If you don't know about it, it especially becomes a bad thing when people are telling from a point of ignorance why they think something is bad or evil or hurtful or whatever. People are full of ideas and concepts. Oh, what I was going to say before I rudely interrupted myself was, people have free will. People make choices and decisions. There is not a very good form of brainwashing in terms of controlling and manipulating people. So when you talk about video games, there is a couple of very bad video games out there that people often associate it. But it's important to know that video games like that are not meant for kids. There is, in fact, a system in place to prevent kids from getting into those particular video games. But at the same time, there's also a lot of ignorance out there when it comes to video games, video game ratings, and what's okay for kids. The idea eventually comes down to, even if you do not allow video games in your house, even if you allow video games in your house, but you're careful about what kinds of video games your kids have, there's a very good chance that some other parent doesn't care. And in that case, you need to talk to them specifically about things like violence and anything else sinful that you need to talk to them about. Don't talk to them necessarily about video games, but concepts and ideas about these things. They're not real. They're fantasy. Video games themselves, though, are just like any other form of art. There is a lot of reasons for whatever thing. So here, let me give you an example. Video games are built on what is fun or whatever. What is fun can be basically anything. There's video games that are card games. There's video games that are just talking, people talking. There's games that are all about choices that people make. There's video games that are all about story. There are video games with no violence whatsoever. There are video games that punish you for being violent. There are video games that are just racing games, sports games. There's video games based on movies and television series and stuff. Video games are broad and diverse. Yes, there is video games that are violent. But that tends to be the selling point of those. And like I said, they're aimed towards adults. And also, they're completely unrealistic. Just remember that. This is not how a gun is shaped. This is not how guns fire. Do you think a person could take this and use it, it's not the same at all. Weapons are far more complex. Not only that, but getting a weapon, learning how to use it, and understanding how it works is completely different than that in a video game. We cannot simply just say that something is violent and it causes violence. It's not. If anything, it's the other way around. People who are violent are going to look for violence in everything. Anyway, my plan is that my plan is on Saturday to talk about whatever story I want to talk about. So, just expect that if you want to skip out on that episode because you don't care, that's fine. I'll just have one episode every week where I talk about some of my ideas. Anyway, have a nice day. I will see you soon, and hopefully it'll be on the correct day. But until then, here's my hand, waving back and forth like something that waves back and forth. In my head is moving back and forth with my hand. Are you guys getting irritated at me doing all this stuff? I mean, it could always just